guys, welcome back to Shelby on Safari. I hope you're well. Today we're going into the world of Wonder Woman because her movie's coming out real soon. I'm super excited and I want to answer the question, what real life animal is like Wonder Woman? Now, just a disclaimer, this is my own personal opinion. The comic book writers and fans alike may have different opinions and that's okay. But I just wanted to dive into the world and see what similarities Wonder Woman has with an animal I think... And no, the animal I'm comparing to is not Maui, who just stuck his face at the camera, you silly boy. I want to figure out what real-life animal is similar to this incredible superhero and one of my favorites. But first, if you're new here and you want to learn more about animals in pop culture or animals in the wild, why not hit that subscribe button and make that bell go ding so you can be the first to see all the new content headed your way. Now, let's head over to Themyscira. Being one of the world's longest continually published superheroes is no small feat, and Wonder Woman is just that. Making her first appearance in All-Star Comics number 8 back in 1941, she was created by William Moulton Marsden. Now, this is an interesting story in of itself because he was a psychologist. In fact, after this video, if you want to know more about Wonder Woman's real-life origins, check out the links in the description below. However, the two main things that stand out in her origin is that she is the princess of the Amazons, a race of women that live on an island free of men called Paradise Island, or later Themyscira. And secondly, that after she grows up on this island, she eventually goes off on a journey to man's world. In some instances, Diana is a true demigod, being the daughter of Hippolyta and Zeus. In others, she's actually formed from clay from the hand of Hippolyta, and then later bestowed life by the Greek gods. The animal that I'm comparing to Diana of Themyscira, or Diana Prince as she is also known as, is the largest cat in North America. In fact, almost every Mesoamerican culture worshipped this cat. And for good reason. It's pretty darn impressive. I'm speaking, of course, about the jaguar. The word jaguar comes from the South American Tupi and Guarani languages. The likely origin of the word jaguar, then, comes from the word jaguarte, meaning true, fierce beast. Quite apt for the jaguar. They once roamed throughout parts of the United States, but now their range goes from Mexico down into South America. The jaguar's stronghold is in Brazil. Studies show that more than half of wild jaguars may be found in Brazil. Thus, places like the Pantanal and the Amazon rainforest are vital to protecting this species. Yes, the jaguar is found in the Amazon rainforest, and Wonder Woman herself is Amazonian. However, of course, the Amazonians are more from Greek mythology, not necessarily the Amazon rainforest. However, I thought it'd be a nice play on words, especially since both are demigods as well. But let's find out what else they have in common other than just being Amazonian. With a name like Wonder Woman, you got high expectations for her special abilities and her powers, and she definitely holds up to any expectation. Diana was blessed by Athena with divine wisdom. Now this comes in handy whether you're settling silly squabbles in the Justice League or being more tactfully mindful on the battlefield. Diana certainly uses both her wisdom and her strong moral sense throughout the comics, and even in the movies as well. Another useful skill to have are keen senses, for she has exceptional hearing and even night vision. The jaguar, too, can see at night. In fact, the Mayans believed that the jaguar, because they could see at night, could move between worlds, and associated the jaguar with both mortality and the underworld. Now for the topic of strength. Wonder Woman is seen to be comparable to have the strength of Superman and Captain Marvel, or Shazam, as he's also known as. And so she's able to carry thousands of tons with minimal effort, probably without even breaking a sweat. Whereas just lifting up Maui requires all the muscles I got. I mean, sorry Maui, you're not that heavy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. The Jaguar, on the other hand, well, they're quite strong as well. As I mentioned, they're the largest cat in the Americas, and they're the third largest cat in the world, after the tiger and the lion, with male jaguars weighing up to 120 kilograms. But the most crazy aspect of jaguars' strength is their bite. Comparative to their size, jaguars have the strongest bite out of any of the big cats. Now, it's just not body mass that makes these guys strong. Jaguars' teeth are also very impressive, for they're strong enough to bite through the hides of crocodilians and even the shells of turtles. Wonder Woman also has superhero speed, invulnerability. She's also got healing powers. She has the power of flight when she's not using her super cool invisible jet. But to wrap it up, she also has an impressive skill set in the art of martial combat, thanks to her time on the island being raised by the Amazons and even being trained by the god of war himself. The Jaguar was an icon for Mesoamerican cultures that represented a brave, bold, fearless warrior. So you can imagine everybody wanted to live up to that hype, and so they put images of the Jaguar everywhere. Both the military variety, putting it on their armor, as well as the more spiritual side, with the hopes that the imagery of the Jaguar would help their reputation, showing off the symbol of prestige and power. In fact, in the Mayan civilization, only the kings could wear the pelts of jaguars. One of the most iconic pieces of equipment that Wonder Woman has is the Lasso of Truth. This was forged by Hephaestus and indeed does what it states, and would tell me if I had it now and wrapped it around Maui that Maui did indeed cheekily sneak his sister's dinner last night. Didn't she, Maui? He was very naughty. But as the name suggests, it makes those who are wrapped around the lasso to tell the truth. The lasso itself is virtually indestructible and has aided Diana, even with a few costume changes at some points, which is quite intriguing. Maui, don't knock the camera off, thank you. The Jaguar has almost a lasso of truth of their own, in the form of their 80-centimeter long tails. What I find particularly incredible about the Jaguar is that they, in fact, enjoy swimming. They don't avoid water, they go to it. Some cheeky jaguars have even been seen to use their tail almost as a fishing lure to attract prey, and then they'll swipe in there with their powerful paws and their powerful teeth and grab themselves some dinner. Next up are the Bracelets of Victory. Now, these bad boys are also indestructible, for they were made from Zeus's shield, and with them, Wonder Woman can deflect pretty much anything that comes her way. In the movie, in that iconic scene when she walks out onto the battlefield without anybody else behind her at first, and she just deflects those bullets like it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. That was a fabulous scene. I got goosebumps just talking about it. However, these bracelets hold a secret. In the New 52, it's been shown that these bracelets actually protect Diana's opponents from Diana's true raw power. If she takes them off, then she goes into berserker rage. And, well, all bets are off. Speaking of their ingenious ability to use their tail almost as a fishing lure, the Jaguars are very opportunistic. They'll make the most out of any situation, quite like Diana. They'll play whatever cards are given to them in the best way possible, especially when it comes to dinner time. For they'll eat anything from capybaras, tapirs, deer, even caimans. They certainly aren't picky eaters. Now it's time to talk about the invisible plane. Ah, yes. This marvelous thing was introduced to help poor Diana get around when she didn't have the power of flight during the golden and silver age of comics. It was controlled telepathically and appeared almost instantly. And the Jaguar too has an invisible jet of their own in the form of camouflage. Now you may be thinking, whoa, 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 I know what this cat looks like. It's not green colored, and if it lives in the Amazon and in the jungles of Central and South America, and parts of North America as we saw, how does it blend in? In fact, while we're on the topic of spots, let's cover it. So leopards and jaguars can often be confused for another. They're both relatively big cats, and they're spotted cats at that, and also are good climbers. However, leopards live in the eastern hemisphere. There's leopards in Africa, and there's even snow leopards as well. Whereas jaguars live in the western hemisphere. You can see the little extra spot in the central circle of spots as well in this picture of jaguar coat, whereas leopards don't quite have that. Jaguars also have larger, rounder heads compared to leopards. However, both leopards and jaguars can be melanistic. This means that they give off the impression of being all black. Although if you look carefully enough in certain lights, you can still see evidence of their spots on their coat. Wonder Woman has a variety of different people in her corner. First and foremost are the Amazonians of Themyscira. That's of course where she was raised, brought up, and trained in martial combat and a variety of other skills. So it's no wonder that they still continue to support her throughout her adventures. And with recent films, both live action and animated, we've seen Wonder Woman's role in the Justice League played out. It's really tricky to pick my favorite Wonder Woman. I love Gal Gadot, and can't wait to see Wonder Woman 1984 in just a few weeks' time. But then of course Linda Carter, she was an icon and still is of that character. But then there's the animated Wonder Woman as well from Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. That was also up there. So I'd have to say those are my top three. It'd be really tricky to choose just one. And while Wonder Woman has the support of the Amazonians and the Justice League, jaguars are kind of on their own. In fact, they live solitary lives, and they're quite territorial as well. They'll mark what's theirs by scratching the trees, or even with their own waste. But of course, they're not alone all the time. When jaguars want to mate, they'll roar for each other, because both males and females can do this. Interestingly enough, a jaguar's call is called a saw, because it sounds like someone sawing a piece of wood in one direction. Then when the jaguars finally do meet up to greet each other, they'll make a snuffling noise. Hey, that's like what you do, Maui. Aww. Are you really a jaguar? Later on, a female will have a litter of 1 to 4 cubs. They are born blind and helpless. Not like you, Maui, no. The young jaguars will stay with their mom for about 2 years and learn how to hunt, how to survive, and be one of the most notorious predators of the Americas. Maui! Wonder Woman has a variety of different enemies, but for this video, we will focus on Cheetah, or Dr. Barbara Minerva. I'm really looking forward to Kristen Wiig's portrayal of her in the upcoming Wonder Woman 1984 movie. Cheetah's origin story is worthy of its own Shelby on Safari video because it's rather intense. But long story short, and just one version of it, Dr. Barbara Minerva is a British archaeologist who would go to any lengths to secure an artifact. In some of her origin stories, she actually goes on an expedition to Africa to find a particular artifact, and others, she's actually working in Washington, D.C., and a blade accidentally slices her and grants her magical powers. Barbara and Diana were actually friends, which makes this more tragic when Barbara turns to the dark side. And she can transform into the cheetah form at will. And when she does, she is granted a variety of different powers, including super strength, super durability, and of course, super speed. In fact, DC listed her as the 6th fastest DC comic book character in 2018, beating out the likes of Wonder Woman herself, Shazam, and even Kid Flash. Which I think is most apt given that the cheetah is the fastest land animal alive. In fact, speaking of the cheetah and the Flash, if you haven't yet already, check out my video on the cheetah versus the Flash up here. Now, Barbara's cheetah form has a few different things than an actual cheetah, like a prehensile tail, bit crazy, claws and fangs, and even, once again, the super heightened senses. While Diana's a demigod and Cheetah has magical powers, there is one threat that's very real for the jaguars of our world. That's deforestation. Throughout Central and South America, deforestation is happening at an alarming rate. This is causing habitat fragmentation for the jaguars. Jaguars aren't able to get to one another, and thus breeding is severely restricted. Less habitat means not only less room for the jaguars, but for their prey as well. But luckily, conservationists are working on this, of creating jaguar corridors or little highways for the jaguars to get from one place to another safely. Probably the most important aspect, though, of their role is fighting deforestation. Luckily, you can play a part in that as well. Whether that's by raising awareness, by sharing videos like this and doing your own research and looking into what's going on, or by buying FSC certified paper products. For more information, check out the links in the description below. Wonder Woman does just that. What her name implies, brings about wonder. Makes you wonder about yourself, your own morality, your own sense of justice. Or maybe makes you wonder, that'd be pretty cool if I could have some Mortal Kombat skills like that. Maybe I'll take up karate. All jokes aside, she is an inspiration to many. The jaguar is just that as well. They are so powerful, so full of strength. Just their teeth power alone of being able to rip through turtle shells is crazy. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into superheroes and super animals, be sure to check out the rest of the playlist up here. Every Mesoamerican culture worshipped it. Maui just flopped on the desk. Oh, he's such a ham. Here, let me show you guys. Maui, you being a good helper? Maui keeps knocking my thing back. Okay, I see you. Yes, you're handsome. Come on, let's talk about kitty cats. He wants all the attention right now. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go give him a cuddle. Ah, genetics. Oh, look at Maui. Maui says he's like a Black Panther. Aren't you, Maui? Yes. Maui's a demigod as well. As a lot of you know, he was named after the demigod Maui. Weren't you, Maui? Yes. He is the most troublemaker cat, but the most aptly named cat I have ever had. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Give a thumbs up if you learned something new, and let me know in the comments below what superhero you want to see featured next. I'll see you guys next Friday. Have a good week.